Country music is one of the highest selling genres of music. Country music fans have always been very loyal and passionate. However, in 2023, there was a huge resurgence with impressive top 3 songs being Jason Aldean, Morgan Wallen, and Luke Combs, claiming the top 3 spots earlier this year.
It's safe to say country music was a huge success in 2023, but was it just a phase, or will the 2020s be the decade country music took over? What's good, you guys, and welcome back to another episode of the DJ's Take.
I'm Donnie.
And I'm James, and on this show, we talk about music industry from a fan's point of view. Donnie, what are we talking about today?
Today, we are going to be discussing the rise in country music in 2023.
Yeah, it's safe to say country music definitely had its mark this year, more so than normal.
I agree.
Obviously, country music is one of the genres that is always
has
popping.
always been consistent. What would it say?
So we broke it down to 4 different topics. One being, why do you think it blew up?
So I think it blew up, which there's so many layers to it. I'm going to start with the first one. I think Morgan Wallen is the face of country right now. And I'll say the reason why I think he's the face of country, at first I'll state it's very problematic. You know, he said the N-word, and it seemed to really flame his career. Like after that, he was everywhere. His numbers were up. So that was disappointing. I really didn't listen to him after that because I was just like, no. But I've been playing him frequently, a little more often, and I would say it's because he did the grunt work, and I heard that he was doing things to make that right. So, I'm not for, holding people back and holding, that defining who they are, but just because of a bad moment. But I think him being poppy country is the reason why. I look at him as almost a Taylor Swift for the men of country music. So
yeah, I'm not historically like a big country music guy, but Morgan Wallen definitely ushered me into it because I really do like Morgan Wallen's hits. And Absolutely. I was like, ever since 7 Summers is probably when I got into like listening to him quite frequently. And then right when I was starting to listen to him, that scandal happened that you were talking about. But he did meet with the NAACP, and we like to see growth from these artists.
Absolutely.
But I think that it has to do with a lot with Morgan Wallen. And then I think there's like a little bit of a fatigue, and we'll talk about that in a future episode with hip hop, because hip hop was dominating all genres. It's the most popular genre
Absolutely.
ever. So I think there was a little bit of a fatigue this year of hip hop, and there was a little fatigue of pop music. And I think country music really gained fire off the back of
something
Morgan
different to listen to.
Yeah.
Definitely, when it's a little poppy.
So let's talk about earlier this year. Morgan Wallen, Jason Aldean, and Luke Combs, they held 1, 2, and 3, which was unheard of for a country artist.
Absolutely.
Who did Fast Car?
Fast Car is Luke Combs.
Luke Combs. Yeah. So that was a remake of a song of a classic.
It was a remake. And can we get her name so we can give her some due justice? Because I feel like it's important that she gets her flowers for writing a beautiful song. But yeah,
Tracy Chapman.
Yeah. So he brought some light to her, and that's cool because I've never heard of her, nor have I ever listened to that song. And I went back and listened to it, and I saw she was talented.
Yeah.
But Fast Car, honestly, I think Luke Combs himself is just a force to be reckoned with. I think his voice is amazing, and I don't think he needs anything else to put him in that position. He can sing. He can sing. Like, there's a couple songs that I listen to country on the regular, and Forever After All is one of them. Fast Car is one of them, and it's usually Luke Combs because the man can actually sing. So.
He can. And then obviously Morgan Wallen's Last Night.
Boy,
fire!
Slap my knee.
Slap
Slap my knee. Boy, I tell you, I wake up, I get in the car, and I play Last Night. I get off work, come home, and I play Last Night. I'm in the gym, I play Last Night. That song is straight fire.
It is. It's in fire. It had me in the chokehold, and then I that whole album really was great. One thing at a time.
I uncanceled Morgan Wallen because of last night. Okay, let that be known. He was canceled until this year, until I heard that song. So
yeah, that song it's just instant bop for any occasion. Like
Absolutely.
whether it's like a pre-game in your car cruising, a fireplace.
Absolutely.
Last night it hits. It does. And then obviously there was Jason Aldean, which I don't love that song. And don't try this in a small town.
Before the problematic Jason Aldean.
Don't try this in a small town. Which the song was like not forgotten about. It was like a typical success for Jason Aldean, you know, and then it became a political thing.
It was a political incitement of, I don't want to call him racist if that was his intentions, but it was racial tension.
Messy.
It was racial tension. Let's say that he flirted with racism, and I think that's the reason why that song got big, because it was so problematic and controversial. I don't think it was because he was talented. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was because the song was a good song. Because where is it now? I never hear it. I never see it.
No, who was Jason?
And then name
Aldean?
Jason Aldean #1 on the billboards. Name one besides that song.
None. Yeah, I can't
never touched a billboard in that fashion, like that high. So,
and especially in recent years.
Yeah.
And we can just let that segue into what is our beef with country music? Because there has been talent there, but like I just feel like when I think of country music, I just have a stigma.
So you were never always a country fan because of that reason,
which is weird because we're both born and raised in Morgantown, West Virginia.
Yeah, so I love country music. Like I listen to it. My mom loves country music, so I grew up listening to it. But I would say they don't open their doors to African Americans often, or something that doesn't resemble the status quo of what country music is, what country music does, you know?
Yeah.
Like you have to be Darius Rucker or Kane Brown to be able to enter their door. Like, why can't you have grills on?
Yeah, and if you look at
Versace on and be a country artist.
And if you look at the artists, like there's Mickey Guyton, Kane Brown, Jimmy Allen. If you look at their stories and them talking about it, they don't have great things to say about the community, like them, like letting them in with open arms and stuff. And they're clearly talented. Mickey Guyton is so good at country music.
Or they call usually the people that are a little bit different, not really country.
Yeah.
They'll have a hard time letting them in. Like, even if you think about Florida Georgia, like, they're pop. Mm-hmm. But they have more twang with them, you know, the more southern roots, and they bring it.
One thing that I do like about country music, though, is that there's a standard in country music in like Nashville where you can't just come in there and run country music. Like, you have to earn your stripes, and not anybody can get in. I don't care how successful you are in any other genre. Like, I wish R&B was like that.
I do appreciate that, because as I was talking about, like, I was like, oh, they safeguard it. Mm-hmm. It's sacred to them. Mm-hmm. It's something that is a part of their culture, and they love it, and they want to keep the integrity of it. So I can't be mad at it, but at the same time, it's like it can't be every time an artist that is African American, or you know, it has to be on every background of it. But like I said, I wish hip hop and stuff would do it a little more, because we had people who exploited the genre, and now they are heavy metalists or they're rock stars like MGK, Post Malone, and it makes us look bad. It makes it look like anybody can come in, use some auto-tune, be catchy, and then dip. Yeah, you know, I don't like that.
How did you feel about the whole Lil Nas X thing with the Old Town Road?
So Lil Nas X does it alone on why they were right. Like, you know, we don't want a circus show in art, because they're more conservative as it is, and they're more not just conservative. When you think of country music, it's more for God. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more wholesome, and he brings a lot of ugliness inside that genre. Like, even when, like, you know, being the devil in his one music video, and just being he just doesn't care. He has no filter, and I understand that. At first, I had problems with it, and then he started acting like he just needed all the clicks and the views in the world.
But in particular with Old Town Road, because all that stuff came after.
Yeah, that's why I had the problem with it.
I was on his side. I think Donnie's saying we were on his side at first, but then country music's like, that's why we were right, and always not letting.
That's why we don't.
You think in hindsight he was But do you think they did that for that reason? I don't.
So it's hard because it's like they're like, that's why we don't do
Shout
it.
out to Billy Ray Cyrus though, because I really liked how you supported him in that.
Absolutely, shout out to him. Good guy. But yeah, he didn't help his case, and he didn't help the next one in line. It's like Obama said, I couldn't be acting up or act out of term because I had to plan for the next African American who was coming after me. So Little Nas
And I don't
X
think
didn't
Little
say
Nas
anything.
X had hopes and dreams to be a country artist ever.
He just wanted to
I
be
don't
problematic.
think- Yeah.
He just wanted to. He
Yeah.
wanted to.
The whole thing was a
disrupt.
troll. It was a troll to
Yeah.
begin
He wanted to
with.
disrupt their atmosphere,
Yeah.
and he did.
But shout out to that.
I don't.
Nothing wrong with that.
Also, I
Disrupt
don't
it.
think in his wildest dreams he thought it was gonna do what it did.
No.
The most successful song of all time,
Of all time.
is Lil Nas X and Billy Ray.
That's
Old
wild.
Town Road, beating out Mariah Carey.
That's-
Boyz II Men.
That's borderline disrespectful. Like,
I
it
know.
wasn't that good. Like it was
Right.
good.
And
I
he
think
had us
the
all
thing
fooled because
was-
I thought he was actually like a country artist, and then
Yeah.
come
Now
to
he's
find
not
out
there
the
at
whole
all.
thing
So
was just a troll.
Troll.
that's why
With the
they're like.
boots and everything, I was like, hey.
Bro, I thought we had somebody great
Yeah.
in their genre, and I thought it would, like you said, it was going to be country. So honestly, that let me down. But
Now, to end this, do you think that this year was a fluke and a phase, or do you think that country music there's going to be a takeover?
I don't think a takeover is coming. I think it was, of course, the insight of the racial tension, because even I had to go watch it to see what the problem was. So if everybody had to do that, good. I think Luke Combs is a great artist. I think he's always going to do well. Morgan Wallen, I think he has a place in music, and I just think he's really good. I think two of the best of what country has drop stuff. It's dropped albums, and I think that is the reason why country music had a surge.
I do think that Morgan Wallen is here to stay.
Absolutely.
Like, I think besides...
He's talented.
But I honestly think that I could see him, though, being like, he's over it and stopping. But if he wants it...
No, he likes that lifestyle. He likes
Yeah.
being the...
What's his song that was hip-hoppy?
Which one? What do you mean, like...
I don't want to sing it for YouTube, but the big one.
Wasted on You?
I met her down in Aldine.
She said... Oh, Broadway Girls.
Broadway Girls. Broadway Girls fire too.
Yeah, that is fire.
Like, and he dabbled into like hip hop, so I kind of think he could be posty.
I think Post would have been better on that song, Broadway Girls.
Yeah.
I said that before, honestly.
But I think that of every Morgan Wallen song, like I could hear Post on it. Like, every single
Absolutely, I
line.
agree.
Lil Durk helped that boy out, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good
Really
song.
helped his PR out, Lil Durk.
Definitely. It allowed him to be forgiven a little bit
Also,
more.
shout out to Nelly. Nelly always dabbled in country
Yeah,
music.
Nelly
Like,
definitely is. But that was even problematic back then.
Yeah, it
People were
was.
on Tim McGraw for doing that. So
yeah.
shout
And
out
then,
to Tim McGraw.
I guess country music always like had its like dabble into pop because Taylor Swift and then BB Rexa had If It's Meant to Be, It's Gonna Be. Florida Georgia Line again.
Yeah,
Florida Georgia Line.
Florida Georgia Line's for the culture.
They're them. They're
for
them.
sure. They're for the culture for sure.
All right, but let us know in the comments down below, guys. Do you think that country music's here to stay, or do you think it's just a phase and there's just a few greats that might filter on through? But if you like this video, help us out. Give us a like and subscribe because we got more episodes coming, and we will see you guys at the next one. That was good.
Not make people feel uncomfortable. The racial when I was like, it gotta be real. Like that's the
Yeah.
only reason anybody clicked it. Like
Yeah.
I didn't go watch it because I wanted to watch